come on. Lee, I don't know. Sorry, you caught me at an awkward point. Yeah, hi, yeah, sorry, I just got McDonald's and they literally didn't put a burger in. That's annoying. So now I just have a bunch of fries and some McNuggets. Great. Well, I guess it is what it is. That's annoying, though. I should... Yeah, that's like, what, the third time that's happened? I'll have to really check the bag when I leave that place from now on. Have you played Devil McQueen? I'm not familiar with that. I assume game. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. Oh, Devil May Cry. Oh, okay, and autocorrect. Yeah, no worries. The answer is still no, but okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry. So the answer either way is no, but at least I know what game you're talking about now. Um, there was a new one recently, right? If I remember correctly. Okay, so I'm just gonna eat this really quick and then I gotta do some cleaning. Oh, well, at least they gave me an extra chicken nugget. Not sure if I really like that trade, but... なんか他見よう。 江ノ島そんなにひどいの？江ノ島どんだけひどいの？そんな悪くないじゃん。あ、でもゴミ拾ってる。いや、ハワイは特別だろ。いろいろ出てくるのはまあ普通なんじゃない？なるへそって言うんだ。あ、でもやっぱ日本語話す方がやっぱ声高いだろ？ギャルっぽい。ギャルっぽいんだ。 ああ疲れた。ちょうど10時か。まあいいや。掃除でしょ。君になるほんのまんじなしたなんて誰かに届くようにあの雨に見たいからそうさ僕の夜を手にさらせなあの考えないでくよいんだきっとそうそう僕と君とさそうじゃなくどうじゃないさ僕はそうなんていう話なんだそうだけどつなるけど自分できっとないとどんどん明 したなんてこのままでいてそっと思いして誰かに届けばいいなくなって今日あれなんかしたそんなものが目に見えみたいなんだそうさ僕が夜を照らしてますよ何かまだ飛んだらい今宵がきっとそうさずっと会いたかったのは母と死んでる場じゃないさ息をさまだきっときっとやまないそうさ僕がきっとやりたかったのは待ってるシンデレラじゃないさだって触れた話なんだ休みにね不思議なさきっともう泣いてるんだ知りたいってこのままでいてその手を伸ばして誰かに届くように一冊そうそう夜を照らしてますよ誰かが考える夜にはきっときっとそうさ僕がずっとなりたかったのは待ってるシンデレラじゃないさ迎えに行くおじさんだ should have brought my table, or not my table, my dog home too. Oh well. Oh well. その手を伸ばして、誰かに届くように、僕だけ君と同じ特別じゃないかな。そうさ僕が夜を歌うスタンバスタンバ海のまま考えて夜がこっちとそうさ僕がずっとなりたかったのは待ってるシンデレラしくないさ迎えに行くのも小さなんだOh, here it is. Okay. That's where it went. Alright. So 僕が夜を歌う You still lost in love 二人のまま考えないで今宵音楽きっとそうさ僕がずっとなりたかったのは早くなるよじゃないさヒーローだ All right.あったあったあった、これだこれだ、このアダプターが必要。はい、ここに置く。ってなんだっけ。もっともっと上がるよそんなに大きなずも楽しい香りに誘われ心にくよげたおめどこまでもきりきりきりきりさあどんとパッとね、ずっと待ってたお家の花火が打ち上がる。さあ祭りだ祭りだ祭りだわっしょい。1、2の3ので声出して手と手をつないで叫ぶよわっしょい。まだまだ上がるよ今夜の花火のテンション。 Modesty, welcome back. Sorry, I didn't see that message. When is that from? 22:33. Okay, it was just now. Perfect. Yeah, what's up? Sorry, while I clean. Not much. Well, they say no news is good news, right? Or is it not that kind of not much? I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else from over here that I need to take out? Oh, this one. Check on chat. Kind of played video games. Oh, was today your day off? I mean, I guess it must have been. Yeah, that's good. I mean, did you get all your Fortnite Goku Kamehameha-ing in, I guess? Sorry, hold on one sec. Sorry, I was cleaning the bathroom and I just cut myself on a, what do you call it, a razor. And looks it. The problem is I cut my index finger too, and so it's like, great, I can't do anything with one hand. Sorry, let me put a band-aid on it first. Can't open the fucking band-aid. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, shit. Oh yeah, that's really bleeding. Let's try to put some Vaseline on it too. Peh. So did I send you the clip? Sorry, I haven't checked Discord today, or I mean, I guess I technically did since I have it open here. But oh, you know, actually, I see something from you. Okay, so that must be that. Oh fuck, this band-aid isn't big enough. Okay, we're gonna have to DIY one. Where is the... Shit. Okay, where's the, that... Okay, there we go. Whatever this, like, athlete's tape stuff is. Let's like this. And then we want some of this gauze that was included in my first aid kit. Double it up. We put some Vaseline on it for some good effect. Okay. And quickly tear its band-aid off because it's not really doing its job. Alright. Now we just gotta secure this guy. Alright. Seems pretty good. Let's put another wrap on it for good measure. Yeah, sorry about that. I underestimated how sharp that razor was. I mean, I guess I technically didn't underestimate it. I guess I underestimated how stuck it was. But I was trying to replace it, but I underestimated how stuck it was, really. But my finger should be okay. Let me just tighten this up. And then just wrap this around a few more times. Cool. Cool. And we're good. Ooh, that's a lot of blood. Okay, yeah, sorry. So you said you sent something in Discord, maybe? Yeah. Oh, 4 o'clock. Okay, yeah, I was probably still at work. Sorry about that. Yeah. what is this? Let's see. Oh, I see. And you just shot him. Lame. Okay. He's got the cloud there. Yeah. Like I'm assuming that was like the transformation animation. Or oh no, I guess it's a oh no, I guess that was just that's like aerial movement. Or the cloud. And then he was charging the Kamehameha. Okay. Well, it looks fun. And I can see what you mean by balanced. And for his neutrals, exactly, he wields a gun. Literally. Literally all characters in Fortnite. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna go back to this cleaning. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, a video game day sounds fun, right? Certainly wish I could have done that today, but, I gotta prep because I think, I don't know if I mentioned, but my parents are, oh shit, my parents are, coming up on the weekend, so, I'm just like, ah, shit, gotta clean. Feel guilty? I mean, it's your day off, I don't see why you should feel guilty. It's your time to do with, you know, it's your free time, I mean. Let's put all this stuff back. forget anything over here. None of them catch your eye? Oh. So you feel guilty about that? I mean, I feel like that's fine, right? You know, it's their fault for not making a, you know, an outfit that catches your eye. I don't know why you should feel bad about that, right? Like if they wanted you to buy something, they should have, you know, they should have made something that was appealing to you. Yeah. Oh no, not that. Okay. Where's that SIM card that I paid this for? What? Is it in here? Productive. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I've already given you my opinion on that, you know, enough that I think I don't need to be a broken record in that regard. I mean, you know, there are days like that. And you know, if it does happen repeatedly, then I feel like the only thing you can do is just, you know, identify why that's the case and then just try to just, you know, take steps to mitigate it. So like, I mean, you know, I haven't started my my, what do you call it, my Operation Omega Alpha, Notice Me Omega Alpha Sound stuff at all, right? So really all of my so-called productivity in that vein has all just been, what do you call it? It's all just been, you know, prep work to make it so that I can do it eventually, right? So, yeah. Which admittedly is a little bit frustrating because, right, because, you know, I'm not actually doing anything, but, you know, every single time I think that I just have to, I feel like, I don't know, it's just important to focus on what you actually are doing and making sure that that is actually tangibly, you know, approaching the goal. Yeah. You know. And, you know, it's kind of understandable, right? Like, if it were that easy to, you know, be productive, then realistically it would never be an issue, right? Sometimes you gotta just spend a few months or years in the in the prep stage. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know, what does it feel like the bottleneck is for writing? I need to move these chips somewhere. I can put these away too. Put this away too, actually. You know, let's hold off on these. Let's put these away. Yeah, right. Finally, what's been writing. Well, let's see. So I guess the last one's just a matter of brute forcing. Something that's coherent. Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose that speaks a lot to just how the human mind is structured, right? Yeah. No, I think it being incoherent is, that's an understandable issue. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what the advice is, right? Let's see. Just try to put these away first. Well, I mean, I guess that's the important thing with flow theory, right? That's the whole reason why people put so much effort into kind of researching, or at least flow theory in the motivational theory sense, right? Because right, yeah, like when people are kind of in the zone, their productivity is far higher, and a lot of at least work in that regard is how do you extend that kind of frame of mind as long as possible. I've heard mixed things about that because and I feel like it's one of those things where it's I think the consensus in the community, or at least it sounds like it's that if you can get someone into a flow state, then fantastic, good job. But then a lot of work is, well, how do you either get someone into the flow state, or because one the solution, because what do you call it? It's right. It's for most people, and when I say most, I'm addressing the point that people that say have ADHD have trouble staying in a flow state. So but we're kind of excluding that from the discussion for the time being, right? So a lot about so in general, for the average person, if they can enter a flow state, then it is somewhat self-persisting for as long as their focus, or it'll last as long as their focus lasts, and that tends to be a reasonable amount of time for most people, right? So then the discussion is often either how do you what do you call it? How do you either get someone into a flow state, because then if you have a what do you call it, a strong framework for how to get people, or get students, for example, into a flow state, then even if each person has different amounts of time they can spend in that frame of mind, as long as you can get them back into that frame of mind, it really doesn't matter how long or short they spend in that state. You know what I mean? So if you have a good framework for getting people into that state, then so that's one angle that people take. And then another angle that people take is just just accepting that some people just have trouble entering a flow state. So then if that's just the case and you can't really just drug them into it, so to speak, then the alternative angle, or the parallel I guess avenue of approach, or that I often see is how do you keep people productive outside of a flow state, right? No, like, really, right? That's the whole problem with, like, say, like Adderall abuse. It's that's what the issue with stimulants, right? They're exceptionally effective at getting people into a flow state. Whether it's okay to call that a flow state maybe is not, maybe that's room for contention. I don't know, but like, that's the reality, right? You can totally just drug them with Adderall, and then they'll be super focused on whatever they're working on. bar people that have, even mild side effects. Because I know, if I understand correctly, I believe stimulants like Adderall do have a pretty high probability of causing nausea as a side effect. I'm not sure, but at the very least, relying on it will lead to a dependence, right? So, I mean, you should know better than me, right? You're the one that works in a hospital. You tell me. But anyway, so yeah, so there's two angles, right? It's do you develop, or one thing you can do, or one way to kind of try to address the problem, right, is to if it is a problem, if you do define it as a problem, then one thing you could do is you could say, okay, what is an efficient way to repeatedly re-enter a flow state? And then the other is, okay, well, how do you just fundamentally boost productivity outside of flow states? Yeah. So, in your case, like, I don't know. See, the thing is, neither of the two, like, there's multiple things. It's just the two that I can think of off the top of my head are those two, right? And like, it's not like you have to do one or the other, right? Really, from a education perspective, you're supposed to do both, right? They're not, they're not things that are at odds with each other, right? So you can totally implement both for the same outcome. All I know, hearts as an organ. Well, that's already enough, because, well, I don't know how exactly stimulants work, so I don't know exactly what pathway they act on. So anyway, yeah, like, yeah, and I think, then is it wrong to use stimulants, period? Of course not, right? I think, everything in moderation, right? So while there is a culture right now of kind of just, diagnose everything as ADHD and just give them Adderall, right? Or some kind of stimulant, then, not that, okay, so calling that a culture is maybe wrong, but from the perspective as a student, right? There is this stereotype that if you're having trouble, then just go get an Adderall prescription, right? Whether or not there's a culture like that within the medical community, I don't know, but at least within the, undergraduate community, I know it's, it's joked about, but people actually do it, right? Which is maybe the problem. So, yeah, so like in your case, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're having trouble, working on it, then, there's plenty of things to do, right? There's, I think, just doing something else that's fun, right? So in this case, playing video games, that's fine too, right? Yeah. But if you really want to work on the writing, then yeah, okay, maybe there's something to be said there. I don't know. What do you think? Also, I do wonder, just knowing what project, or I'm assuming this has to do with the zombie thing. I don't know if it's a kid who called a zombie. I don't know, but the ones you've mentioned before, the project that you've mentioned before, and I do wonder if maybe the scale of the project is a little large. Um, I know it might seem like it's not, because you have narrowed it down to like a specific facility, but as you've mentioned before, there are all these individuals at play, and there are all these directions that you could take the story, that I imagine if the complexities may be a little bit too or the scale of the project is a little too large, in the sense that, not that you're writing about something already, or you're already putting the super complex thing to paper, but more like, oh, I mean, you can go ahead first. Let me go finish cleaning the bathroom, or at least organizing the bathroom. Or wait, no, I'm done. No, I'm done. I finished that before I sat down. Getting us to write the dialogue. Yeah, people for voice work. Well, I imagine the voice work stuff would be much faster, so it sounds like the bottleneck is the dialogue then, right? Yeah. So then obviously the immediate question is, why is the dialogue the bottleneck? Is there, like, I don't know. I mean, you've already mentioned part of the reason, right? It's that it's maybe perhaps the coherence or something. Not like optical coherence, obviously, but 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Is that, sorry, well, why is 2 minutes, 20 seconds the bottleneck? Is that like how much fits in your budget for like however much it costs to do voice work or what? Twitter video. Ah, hi. Okay. And you can't do multi-part? I mean, I guess that's where it goes into the budget thing, right? It's much easier to just keep it at one video and call it a day. Yeah, I agree. Although I will say 2 minutes and 20 seconds for a video that you have no idea about is already a little long. So yeah. No, I agree. I do agree with that. It's just, I do wonder if like again, if fitting it in 2 minutes and 20 seconds is so hard that it's literally like stopping all progress, then, at that point I would say fuck, analytics and like fuck, like all that stuff. Just do a multi-part, right? I don't know if it's at that point yet, but um, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, and so would you be like super? Would you be like totally against like doing, say, like a 1 minute version that tries to like get people interested and then just link them to like a YouTube video with the full version or something? Like, is that too much, or is that something you wouldn't want to do? Because at the very least, so from my perspective, this whole culture of like short form video and stuff, that's kind of what I thought like the point was. So I realized TikTok, you're just supposed to like finish a video or something, but from at least a content creator's perspective, my impression was always that you're supposed to get them within like 30 seconds, and then if they're more in, you're supposed to get them within 30 seconds so they leave the short form video platform and then go to your main content platform, whether that be YouTube or Twitch or whatever, right? So at least that's how I viewed this type of short, and I don't know if calling Twitter short form video is right, but I thought that was kind of the angle that Twitter was trying to go for. So I mean, I suppose this is just a difference in, I mean, really, this is just a difference in, what do you call it? How we view, these platforms respectively. Um, yeah. And it is a lot less work, right? If you can just fit it into one short video on and then throw it on Twitter, then it does keep all of the information localized, right? So I do agree there. Video can be by itself. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. In an ideal scenario, you could just have that on Twitter and then just call it a day, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, and then I suppose then the next thing I would ask is, then does the entire dialogue have to be voiced, right? Like, I mean, this would still involve linking people to another thing, but instead of linking people off Twitter, you'd be linking them to like a different tweet, right? For example, or you'd be linking them to a reply in the tweet or something. You know what I mean? Like, maybe just have one part of the dialogue that's voiced and then the rest is just, and then, link them to like a full text or something, or I don't know. Can you do that? Is that a thing? Ideally, it could be all in the same tweet, I guess. But I don't know if tweets allow a mix of like pictures and text and video. So, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem right if you added comments. Well, I guess that is what it is. Yeah, yeah. And I guess, so at this point, if I understand correctly, you don't technically have all, do you have all the dialogue already? And you're trying to trim it? Or is it, you're trying to write dialogue, but keep it short enough as you're writing it to, get it to work? The former. Oh, so you already have the full, okay, yeah. Well, then then the bottleneck really is just getting it within the limitations of the platform. Hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. Again, in like game development or I guess product development in general, they talk about a minimum viable product, right? So I suppose the fundamental question before all of these, I just realized I don't have my model on screen. But I guess really the fundamental question, right, is what is the minimum that you can do to get something out like in a day? Right? Like in my case, the minimum viable product is probably like a 30-second, mixed like song cover clip or something, right? That's probably the minimum viable product. I don't think there's that with like no video and then just like a static picture or something. That would be like my minimum viable product, for example. And then throw that on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok or wherever. I don't know. In your case, yeah, I don't know what the minimum viable product would be, right? I mean, I guess, trimming the dialogue to get to its most bare bones while still getting the point across is a good thing to do, right? Because I think we've all seen, we've all read enough like fan fiction where the author just goes on and on and on and on, right? With real clear point in the text. So compared to that, right? Kojima, really? I don't know. Is Kojima like that? I don't know. But I think we've all read like fan fiction like that, I assume, or so it's so I do agree with like trimming it, but if it's getting so hard to trim that it's literally bottlenecking everything, then I do wonder if there is anything left to trim. Also lazy. Okay, yeah, no worries. Part of it might also be just that you haven't found that perfect combination of words that gets the point across. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like at that point, what I would even consider is just setting aside the current content, right? And just being like, okay, like for so you're probably, I'm assuming you're going to keep working on this, right? And then if at some point you reach the point where it's like I can't trim this enough, or I don't want to trim this anymore because it doesn't, because the point won't get across and whatever, then it might be worth saying, okay, so this won't fit on Twitter, so just like setting it aside and then just writing a different scenario that does fit, and then in the future being like, do I want to actually upload the thing from before that was a little long, or something, and then yeah, you get what I mean? Like intentionally like make a project that can fit within the Twitter, instead of forcing what you have in your head into the Twitter video length, just intentionally just design something that will fit. Um, yeah. Or choosing from what you have, just choosing a different one that does fit, and then just kind of sidelining what you're currently working on. I don't know. I don't know which is faster, right? But yeah. And of course, speed isn't required, right? But if your productivity, or if your what do you call it, your sense of pride and accomplishment, if your sense of pride and accomplishment, to borrow that meme, associated with being productive is tied to this project, then time is sort of the essence, right? It's you're essentially fighting against your own motivation, right? So in that sense, you do have a time limit, right? So yeah, YouTuber fan art between each audio post. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, no, that's good. That's kind of a way to keep yourself, you know, accountable, I assume, right? So I think that's a good system. What was I gonna say? Can't remember what I was gonna say. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Don't need to turn. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess right. Yeah. So I don't know how much time you've been stuck on this issue. Maybe you haven't had the chance to just put enough, really kind of bang your head against it enough to find a good solution. And I can relate to that, right? Like, I don't know if I mentioned, but I was working on getting this specific diode, light emitting diode, or I guess calling it an LED is fine. Getting this specific LED, like sort of like a laser diode, working at work, and that took a solid like well, like three, basically a month, yeah, just getting it working. And you know through all of that, I finally found a good solution for really quickly, easily, and efficiently getting the diode working with our current equipment. But I didn't think of that at first, right? It took a solid month of kind of just tackling the problem every day, and then at some point it's like, well, wait a sec. If I just take like 10 steps back and then 2 steps to the right, then there's actually this really like brain dead simple way of solving the problem. So yeah. So I can totally agree that even if at this precise moment you don't have a good solution, there might be something that you just maybe it is just a matter of like, oh, you just need to kind of bang your head against the problem a little bit. So that's that too. Yeah, yeah. Wish my finger wasn't bleeding. It's not actively bleeding. I have it wrapped up, so I don't know if it's actively bleeding is I guess the point, but it's kind of annoying because I can't like type anything. But yeah, yeah. Alright, let me just check hardware swap. I am looking for a new laptop, so I'm wondering, do I just... HP has some decent ones, spec-wise. And I'm like, do I buy one? Because at best it's a side grade. I can afford it, but just because I can doesn't really mean I should. I don't know. But it would make working on everything so much easier. Yeah, there's nothing here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I suppose I should ask one thing, which is, how are you organizing all of this information? It just works, yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, the problem is it often just doesn't work. So if anything, it's the opposite, right? It don't work. Yeah. Um, Google Docs? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So sorry. So yeah, so I mean, I don't know. So obviously this is just me kind of saying my gut feeling, but obviously like my gut instinct is if you already have all the dialogue done, then I would just like it just seems like such a waste of time just to like cut it down. Like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe it's possible there's some inefficiencies here and there, and you could potentially fit it into the Twitter format. But if you already have all the dialogue done and you can afford to get it all voiced, then it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, doesn't that feel like a waste of time? It's like just get it voiced and then just work on the next thing, right? Like you're forcing yourself to waste time like trimming down what you already have, which I presume is already something that you think is, just ready to go, right? Just so it fits on Twitter. And so you're wasting time on something just potentially just making it worse. I mean, you potentially make it better, but you're also potentially making it worse. And that, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, obviously, if doing the full version doesn't fit in your budget, then yeah, but like if it does, then it's like yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's so hard to type without my index finger. Expiring voice actors. Yeah, honestly, yeah, that sounds fun. I do wonder. So how do you find people like that? Have to be VTubers. Interesting. I mean, I think that's pretty. That's an interesting bottleneck, but I mean, as as a VTuber, is it okay for me to call myself a VTuber? I don't know. So when I say as a VTuber, I mean addressing VTubers, not personally. But a VTuber would probably be really happy to do that, right? Because voice acting is very closely related to I mean, realistically, if you want to do anything professional work as a VTuber, if you want to develop your portfolio as a professional, then you gotta, then voice acting, experience is very helpful, right? So I'm sure that VTubers definitely appreciate the opportunity. Yeah. So that's 550. This is basically what I want. It's just, do I really want to spend that money? Wait, where did this person go to see this laptop in store? If you're just like, okay. Nah, I don't have a voice acting voice. Although I was considering getting a new microphone. Um, should I just buy this laptop? So essentially, I'm looking at this laptop on HP's website, and it basically has the features that I want. You can buy like a $15 cable, and you can add a hard drive to it. There, and then that alleviates one M.2 slot. It's basically performance wise actually better than my current computer, and it's a laptop. The end. Yeah. So and it's got upgradable not just storage but upgradable memory as well. So I could potentially load it up with like 60, probably at least 32, if not 64 gigs of RAM. So this is basically what I want from a laptop. But it's also like a side grade. So it's like if I buy this, I'm not getting any new performance. I'm basically spending $500-$600, and I'm not getting any new performance. I'm just getting all my current performance in a portable form factor. And then I can recoup some of the cost by selling my current hardware, but I'm also only going to get like $100 out of that, and maybe $150 at most, if I do processor, motherboard, RAM altogether. So it's kind of like, it does make sense. Not really, honestly. Um, but it would be nice to just have a laptop that I could just. There's some programming I need to do right now for work. There's some. I want to do the vocal mixing. I guess I could justify it. Do they not have like more like a student discount to bring this down another maybe like $50? Oh, students and teachers. Oh, but these don't. These discounts won't kick in. And how about Craigslist? Is there by chance someone that's actually offering a pretty good deal on a laptop? No. Doesn't seem like it. This isn't too bad. It's just not really worth it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess good luck, yeah. I mean, because it sounds like you're gonna go with trimming the, trying to get it to fit into Twitter video length, right? Why is that such a weird number? 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Is that, why is that such a weird number? That's 2 minutes and 20 seconds, right? So that's 140 seconds. Does that translate to some like round number if you convert it to like bits or something? Like if, let's say 160 kilobits per second times 140, does that come out to a round number? It's 2.8 megabit or megabytes. That's not really a round number. What if you did 320? Well, that's just double that, so that's not a round number either. Why is that such a weird number? Maybe it's like 0.2 megabytes overhead for something, and then it's like 3 megabytes or something. I mean, I suppose at that point you should also ask, why did Twitter originally restrict tweets to 140, characters, to which, it's like, shrug, right? So I suppose it's just a number that they chose that worked out for whatever reason, but yeah. Hates your content? Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, with that said, if the Twitter video length limit was longer, would it actually be better, or would you have just made a longer, dialogue or like a longer script? I don't know. I feel like that's often the case, right? It's really just you work to fill up whatever, whatever you're, working with, or to fill the, it just kind of expands to fill, like with time, right? Whenever you're working on something, usually it just kind of, whatever you're working just kind of expands to fill the time. Okay, why would someone buy this laptop? It's $700 and you get a 12th gen. I guess it's pretty packed, so you wouldn't need to upgrade anytime soon, but I don't know, why would you even buy this? More conversation. Right, yeah, and then it's just like, then it doesn't end up being any shorter, yeah. Or it would end up fitting anyway, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. Should I just buy this laptop? So where's my iPad? How much money do I have in the bank, actually? Yeah, because with my spending right now, I basically add $0 to my savings every month. Everything that I earn in the month is burned by my expenses during the month. So technically, can I afford any of this? Not really. No thanks. Yeah. Oh no, I'm ahead by about $100. I made about $100 over the course of. I made a net savings about, or I only added $100 of saving into my savings over the course of like the past 3 months. Okay. Oh, fuck all these expenses. Anyway, yeah, that's more than I thought, to be honest. Um, only there was some magic way to get a big truckload of money. So yeah, but sorry, but just okay. So from what I checked just a moment ago, I can't afford this. I can afford it. The question is, should I even buy it? That's really just the question. You know, because so I guess here's the thing. Wait, where did the SIM card? Oh, here's the SIM card. There it is. Okay. Sorry, I was looking for this thing. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I just don't. Yeah, so let's see. So what is the current issue? I guess I can't really do data analysis because I don't. Essentially, I have the data on the lab computer, but it's hard to do the data analysis in the lab. So a laptop would let me be able to just kind of sit wherever the hell I want and just do the data analysis, and then hell, I could walk around or something while I'm doing it. And then a laptop would also be helpful because I could just throw it, just plop it on my desk in the office and then do some recording. What is a way around that? Well, I can take my old Stream PC, the one that I'm not currently using, and I can just literally just move it into the office. No one's gonna care. And then I could just do the vocal mixing on that. And then I guess if I ask if I can order a lab like computer that I could use, then I could just have a permanent lab computer just in the lab, and I could do whatever programming I need to on that. And that's an option. Or I could save all that hassle and just buy this laptop. I feel like I've been spending way too much money recently. It happens every single time I get a job, right? As soon as I have some disposable income, I start spending it. Of course, I consider myself to be spending it in a fairly reasonable way, but the reality is I am spending a lot, so. Well, once my parents come by, I can go to Costco. See what kind of laptops Costco has. This gives me an option too. Who's buying these $150 laptops? Jeez. Oh, there's more. Okay. And also, what is with the sorting on this page? It's so stupid. I don't want to waste too much time looking at these, but I also don't want to. Okay, what is with the sorting on this page? And the John Wick outfit. Okay. I thought they already. Oh, I see. I'm assuming they might like redo the event once the because they already they released that before, right? If I remember correctly. Was that not the situation? Yeah, okay, so it'd be like a re-release or something. Page not found? What? This seems like the best deal in a lot of respects. I go this route, I guarantee all the features that I want. And in terms of IPC, I lose out on the 19% increase going from Zen 2 to Zen 3. However, getting a 5700U means I get 2 more cores, so then the multi-core performance ends up being about well, the multi-core performance ends up being higher. But then yeah, okay, but the other ones, price to performance, it's cheaper. It's better to go for the 429 laptop. But then it's not clear if I can add a SATA drive, which means either that I have to connect it via USB or some other solution, which has more USB ports though, so wouldn't be bad. Hell, I could even boot off an SD card actually. Wish I knew how long the sale was until. Yeah, I don't understand how this is a deal at all. Anyway, DLCs. Okay. I mean, I guess that's really what they expect you to think. So I'm looking at this right here. I'll just link it to you really quick, just so that you can see it. Or I think it should show up here. I'm looking at this laptop here, and hopefully it went through. And I'm looking at it, right? So, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it. Okay, yeah. Jokes aside. What justifies this laptop being, what is the justification for this being $550? This processor, I feel like, is way too weak to charge that much. In fact, the entire 11th gen is just like bad. RAM is 2x4, 8 gigs 2x4 at 2660 or 2660s or 2666. Now, I don't know what the timings on that are, but that really doesn't matter because it's Intel. It's not timing sensitive. You have the smallest possible storage, SSD, 256 gigs. That's how much you get for paying $550, which maybe isn't bad, but it's like, do you at least get a touch screen? It's got the most basic Wi-Fi card, I guess. So what is the deal here? You don't even get a 1080p screen. You get a 768p screen. This looks like a budget laptop from every angle, yet they're charging as much as this is more expensive than the laptop I was looking at. And the laptop I was looking at probably performs double? Well, and this is just what I mean. They're this is the top deal of the day, and I'm like, what dumbass? Yeah. Don't trust HP's, no, it's a 1 day only deal. Oh no, it's gonna expire in 20 minutes. Oh no, so let me just bitch about this, please. So Windows 11 Home. Damn, they couldn't even give you Windows 11 Pro. Like, they're charging you this much for this like shitty laptop, and then they can't even give you like Windows 11 Pro. If you got Pro, you could at least justify it by saying like, oh, there's some like virtualization stuff you could do, or there's some like, prosumer features that you might could take advantage of, because Intel, maybe like Intel V Pro or something, maybe there's like some security stuff you could justify. Nope. I guess you could get the V Pro stuff on Windows 11 Home anyway. But the point is, like, they don't advertise it. Okay, so you get the pretty much near the bottom of the barrel in terms of the 11th gen mobile Intel processors, right? I mean, not bottom of the barrel, but like in terms of like a reasonably good laptop, the 1135 G7 is basically the bare minimum. It's like it's the bottom of like Intel's like regular consumer stack. You can't get cheaper processors, but this is like the bare minimum they recommended from this generation, right? So it's like there are cheaper processors. There are i3s from this generation. It's just if you want to actually do something with your laptop reasonably, get reasonable use out of it, you're not going any lower than 1135. Chipset, they don't just explain because it's all integrated. Memory, you get 8 gigs of 2666 DDR4. 2666, I think, is just a smidge faster than the slowest possible DDR4 RAM. And they also give it to you in 2x4. In other words, there are 2 sticks of 4 gigs, like RAM. Why is this bad? It's not inherently any bad. The problem is that when you go to upgrade, you have to throw away 1 stick for sure. Because, there are only 2 RAM slots. So when you want to upgrade this in terms of like RAM, like you're like, oh, I want to add, 8 gigs. You can't add 8 gigs. You got to take out 4 gigs and then put in 8 gigs, like you see in the alternate options for this thing. So they could have just given you a 1 gig stick, or sorry, they could have given you one 8 gig stick. Like Intel doesn't, if I remember correctly, Intel doesn't have any performance penalty from, going single channel versus dual channel in terms of like how many identical sticks you have, right? So review video. No, this is just me bitching about a spec sheet. Maybe there is a sensible reason. I don't know. I will give them the SD card reader. At least they had the sense to put in an SD card reader. The problem is all of these laptops have an SD. Basically, all of these laptops have an SD card reader. It's not special within HP's portfolio. The minimum SSD that they could offer, not to mention, they say PCIe NVMe. I don't know what brand this is. It could very well just be shit. Optical drive, whatever. Okay. And then the screen. The screen is a 768p like screen. They couldn't even put a 1080p screen on it. Like, really? If you're not, then they better justify it somewhere else, right? Like, okay, fine. You're not going to put on 1080p. That's fine. Okay. You better justify the price somewhere else, though. But they're not. 720p camera, webcam, fine. Okay, sure. I'm not really think much of that. Color. Oh, wow. All the colors. I don't know. No fingerprint reader. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to call the ports all that significant because it's really just like 3 USB ports, a screen. They have an Ethernet port. Fine, I'll give them that too. And then, okay, so this, the Wi-Fi card and Bluetooth combo is basically the only thing, the minimum that they offer, or like the most basic one they offer. The battery is fine, I guess. I don't really have anything to say about that. They got some shitty, antivirus. they advertise trusted platform module support. It's not like HP adds anything. That's on Intel. Intel makes it so that they can advertise this because it's just included in the fucking processor and chipset. So HP didn't do shit. I guess it's possible so all things considered, there's nothing about this laptop that makes it stand out more than this cheaper one that I was looking at over here. This other one here that I'm looking at here, this is okay. This has a 1080p screen. It has a better processor. It has the same amount of RAM, the same SSD size. It has a better wireless card, the same battery. It has the same I/O. Like, did you get what I'm getting at? It's like the only thing HP could have done to justify this laptop at this price is add Thunderbolt, because these processors basically get Thunderbolt 3 for free, or Thunderbolt 4 actually for free. If they had added that one port, I could totally see them justify this price, but they didn't. So anyway, so that's just me just bitching at these guys. Yeah. It's just, they're like, oh, one day only, 13 minutes left to order it. No, okay, no dumbass should ever buy this. Bring this laptop down to like $300 or like $250. Bring this laptop down to $250. I would throw it at everyone. Actually, like Fortnite. Oh, the advertising. Do they do that? Oh, 15 minutes left, or like, yeah. I don't know. It's just, this is just so, I don't know. I suppose the thing that really pisses me off is that HP's customer support page is down, so you can't look up the maintenance manuals for a lot of their stuff right now, which means you can't determine whether or not you actually want, like, it makes it so much harder. Like, can you upgrade these laptops? I don't know. Maybe not. You sure as hell won't know, right? Like, because they don't give you any of the information to know that. I'm actually going to wait for midnight and see if the rotation on these deals change, and maybe give it another day of thought. But like, just watch. It's going to be, yeah, see, customer support's unavailable. It's daily rotation. Okay. Yeah. Now, there's something about, like, maybe the other laptop has this, like, fantastic screen that just looks really nice, and the resolution is just a little low, but it otherwise looks really nice. But so I will give it that. It's entirely possible that laptop is a good deal, but yeah. So I'll just wait for it to the rotation to change. Change. Let's see. And then if they raise the price on this, I'm just gonna be like, fuck it, never mind. I'm not that desperate for a laptop. Yeah. I mean, I suppose I should just choose whether or not I want to buy one soon, but like, I don't know. I'm also not that desperate to spend money. In fact, I'm just not. We'll see. How much time? 11 more minutes. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what I should do. So I feel like the mixing thing is resolved. I just have to just set up my computer at school. That's fine. The problem isn't that. The problem is, what do I do about work? I got to do some data analysis, but it's just such a pain to work on that lab computer. I could ask them to buy a new lab computer, like a cheap laptop or something, but I guess I would want it to be a decently good laptop because the data sets that we're working with are, it's 100 kilosamples per second for multiple seconds. Then I got to do data analysis on all those points. So, as you can imagine, like for example, if you try to open it up in Excel, you've got a column with, for 5 seconds, like for example, because that's the time that I set. Like a 5-second sample has 500,000 data points on it, right? So you have that entire column that needs to be calculated. Obviously, you wouldn't do that calculation in Excel, but just to give an example, it does crash Excel if you try to plot all those at once, for example. So getting a nice laptop to be able to just like quickly do stuff would be nice, but I don't know. Also, is it time yet? No, it's only been 3 minutes. Wow, time sure goes slowly when there's nothing relevant to do. Can someone please just like list a good laptop deal on Hardware Swap? Please, pretty please. Oh, Razer Core X, really? Okay, for that'd be good for external GPUs. Oh, they're in Riverside. Okay, and they include a USB 4 cable. That's not a bad deal. Wish I was local. Actually, I didn't see this listing earlier. $5,800H. Oh, it's damaged. Okay, never mind. It's got a Russian keyboard. Interesting. Yeah, okay. So if we actually see a good deal, or yeah, I know, we'll see. I mean, the best solution, I guess, would technically be if I could just take my entire computer to school, but that's not gonna happen. Let's see, Hunter. If you're looking for a cute anime girl with a cute anime voice, sorry to disappoint. If you get this, feel free to stay. Right now, I'm waiting for HP's website to. Well, actually, I'm waiting for midnight so that HP's website will update their daily deals and see if there's anything worth buying. I mean, I'm in the mark. I'm looking for a laptop. Yeah. It's still the fear of missing out. Yeah, yeah, the more I think about it, like how often I'm gonna do data analysis at work, probably not all that often. So, I just realized I could remote into the lab computer from the lab. So our lab has a desktop and a laptop, and the annoying thing is that the desktop is just kind of in an inconvenient position. So, which is why I'm trying to avoid doing the data analysis on it. But I just realized I could totally just remote into the desktop from the laptop and then just take the laptop wherever the hell I want, right? Because then I could still I could still monitor, you know what I mean, right? Like then I could take the laptop to the office and then do the data analysis or whatever. Just do that. No, I just thought of that. I'm like, why don't I just do that? Like, then we don't have to buy a new laptop for the lab. I can still do the data analysis, and I don't even have to move the files around because I'll just remote into the desktop where all the files are anyway. Why don't I just do that? I mean, so the reason why not to do that is because IT is going to complain. Or IT will complain unless you secure the device properly, which I'm not quite exactly sure how to do. Yeah, exactly. I don't waste $600. Exactly. Like that's, in fact, for me, that's the biggest reason, right? Although having a laptop would be nice. Again, not to not to forget that factor, but it's not. It's much nicer to save $600, right? But let's see. If there's let's say there's like a 4 or 5, maybe there's a solid $500 laptop or something, then maybe that has a Ryzen 7, for example. Maybe then I would buy it. Okay, so it looks like everything refreshed, or at least the ones that expired at midnight are gone. So let's see. Are there any new deals actually? I think these were all the same as before. I think it just got rid of the daily deal thing, and I think it just... Yeah, no, that's the same laptop. Which one is this? Oh, no, that was the same. That's the same as well, yeah. It's Ryzen 5 for 479, so they just get the 429 one instead. Makes more sense. Yeah, I think the only thing... Okay, yeah, the one that I was looking at actually, I think, disappeared. Let me see, did I still have a link to it? That deal disappeared. So, I think the answer is I'm just not buying a laptop. Or, wait, no, never mind, it's still here. Yeah, it's still here. 17CP0097, yeah. Well, did it really? They didn't update the deals? So that's just it then. They can't do any better than these shitty deals that they already have. Really. Like, HP with all of its market share that it has can't do any better than this, really. That's a little pathetic. Like, I think the only thing worth buying from HP that I can think of right now, and I actually just saw it a moment ago, is the HP Reverb, like the VR headset. And this price isn't even good. Yeah. That's honestly kind of pathetic. I mean, I guess this laptop, this 17-inch one, is technically still a decent deal. You have RAM upgrading room, you have storage upgrading room. Yeah. The processor is decent. You could potentially do an external GPU setup. This, I think, is the best deal for a laptop that they have right now. And I was looking on laptop deals on Reddit. I don't think there's another laptop that's good at this price point. Let's say I think it's 5 to 600. Yeah, 5 to 600. Let me just double check. This is about how much I want to pay, honestly, so... 5 to 6 for these kind of laptops sounds about right. Obviously, if you could get it for cheaper, that'd be nice, but... yeah, 5700U for 600, 5700 or 5625 for 600, 4600H for 600. That doesn't make much sense. Yeah, actually none of these are recent. Yeah, 5200U for 550. Yeah, I don't really see anything really worth it. Yeah, so I guess so the question is, do I really buy this? Not a bad deal, honestly. Wait, did this show up twice? Not a bad deal. It's much better than what I can find anywhere else, but yeah, honestly, it's this guy, right? I guess the only thing is I know that everything becomes easier one generation later, right? 6000 series laptops, or Ryzen 6000 series laptops really are where it's at. Because then you can just do external GPU immediately, and then boom, you're done. So from my perspective, it makes everything really simple, both in terms of like docking it, or docking the computer once I get home, and then taking it around, and then, using it at work. Maybe I should just get a laptop. Oh yeah, they have nothing competitive. Okay. Should I just buy a laptop? Actually, I just realized. I think I need to register the lab computer with the like the like the network security or with IT, because I realized how has IT not complained about that laptop yet, or that desktop yet? It's just a random computer we threw on the network. How's IT not complained about that? I better register tomorrow. But yeah. Anyway, so I think it's been a bit late. I need to think about whether or not I should actually buy a laptop. But yeah, I feel like there's so much stuff I would just want to buy. But anyway. But yeah, so everyone that came by, thanks for coming by. Take care, stay safe, have a good evening, and I'll see you guys later. Let's go to